Hello guys, this is Average Trader and welcome to week 15 of our trade logging series. This week we actually lost money. We gave away 2R to the market, and compared to last week, right, where we actually made some money, I think this week was more successful, right? That's because last week we made a mistake, right? Whereas this week every single trade that we took I think was a valid trade, and it just goes to show that sometimes you can be on your A game, you can trade perfectly, right? But at the end of the day, trading is just a statistical probability, right? That week, 1 week, like 2 weeks ago, where we made 7 over 7R, right, in 1 week, we didn't complain, right, when we made more money than expected. So we shouldn't complain now when we're making less money than expected, right? All we can do is stick to our trading plan and follow our money management rules, right? So if you do want to see all the trades live, be sure to join us on our website. Okay. We're the only chat room that has a profit promise guarantee, right? So if we don't make money on a certain month, you don't pay us a single dime, right? Otherwise, let's get straight into the first trade of the week. And the first trade of the week was Target TGT 161 by 160, and we got out at 1R. So you can see we got out. We got in very early in the day, right? And you could ask, why did you use such a big stop, right? And the reason was we took this off of a daily breakout. Okay, so we took this off of a daily pattern. So therefore, usually, right, I give these stocks a bit more room than necessary. As you can see, 162 was 1R and 163 was 2R. And I remember this trade, we were like 10 cents off or 15 cents off of 2R before markets took a dive and unfortunately broke past this little support area, and we decided to just cut our losses, take 1R and call it a day. Next trade we took was LVS 3620 by 3675. Okay, and this was a short, obviously, but we took this off of a 1 minute pattern. Okay, when we took this off of a 1 minute pattern, we expected this because this is a momentum play, right? Breakdowns are momentum plays. We did not expect to see this bounce so early, right? So early. And look at the 2 minute chart, right? Wide extended red bar, doji bar, and a green bar. What does that say? Says it is a bullish sign, right? So we want to get out of a short if we're in this stock as soon as possible. So this stock actually did not even hit 1R, right? We decided to move our stop loss to break even as soon as we saw this doji bar and a green pushing bar, right? And unfortunately, LVS, we got out at break even. Next trade we took was BIDU 8350 by 83, and we got stopped out of this thing. We took this off of a daily pattern once again. Okay, and but like, who could have expected this, right? It was a perfect, really nice gap up, and after it just peekabooed us over 8350 and then came all the way back down to under 83. And honestly, I think I took nasty slippage on this stock, right? I think I got out actually at like 82.90 or 82 something like that, right? Took really nasty slippage on this thing. Would I take in this stock again? Yes, I would have. It was a very, very nice daily breakout. The studious among you that have taken the course will be wondering why we took the stop with these topping tails, right? And that's a good argument to make, right? Topping tails are a sign of bearish, a bearish trend, right? And so you could have argued, right, if you were in the chat room, hey, I'm not going to take this trade because of the topping tails, and that would be completely valid. But unfortunately, I took it, and we got stopped out of the stock. Next trade we took was PDD 4775 by 47. Okay, and we got stopped out of this thing as well. We were trying to get in. Honestly, the safer option would have been 48, right? 48 by 47. Once again, it's a beautiful trade, right? Just unfortunately, it was still in a compression phase and triggered us in by a couple pennies, right? I was very surprised actually, because I was looking at the 2 minute when we were doing this, and we actually got triggered in after this long bottoming tail, right? Which is a bullish sign, right? And unfortunately, a long bottoming tail was preceded by a long topping tail, right? So we couldn't predict this, right? We couldn't have predict this. You could have argued to get in even earlier, actually, at like 47.60 on the 1 minute buy setup, right? But nevertheless, we took this on a breakout, a 2 minute breakout, and unfortunately, we still got stopped out of this thing. Next trade we took was UPS, 172.30 by 171.30. Okay, and as you can see, you know, rocket fuel, right? Rocket fuel. It never even looked back as soon as we got triggered in off of a breakout on the 1 minute. And you could be asking, you know, this thing probably went higher after this. Why did you get out at 1R? Average trading range, right? Average trading range. UPS usually only does, you know, $2-3 a day, right? And it's already done $3 at our 1R target, right? So considering that, we got out at 1R and you know, took our profits and left. If you go back to that day, actually, UPS would not have hit 2R, right? And why wouldn't it hit 2R? Because of average trading range, once again, right? So, you know, this all comes down to experience, right? So not even experience, it all comes down to awareness, right? Be aware of the average trading range of major, minor support, resistance areas, that type of stuff, right? And so when we saw UPS is about to hit its average trading range, we got out at 1R. Next trade we took was Microsoft, 230.25 by 232.25, and we got stopped out of this thing, unfortunately. We were doing this on a short. It was a nice gap down and it was in a range. It was consolidating and you know, in a compression phase. Unfortunately, as soon as we got triggered in below the low of the day, it decided to push up higher, and there's honestly nothing we can do about that, right? We see beforehand there are massive topping tails, right? We expected this to go lower, but you know, this massive bottoming tail on this green bar right here triggered us in, and fortunately we got stopped out shortly after. Next trade we took was PFE, 46 by 45.80. Okay, and look at this, look how nasty this is. Huge green bar followed by topping tail, huge red bar. How nasty is that? Just look on the 2 minute, right? Some people are breaking their laptops or their screens over this topping tail right here, right? So unfortunately, with PFE, this massive green bar did get us to 1R, and came all the way back down with this red bar and tagged us at break even. You know, what can we do? Not really anything we can do. But honestly, guys, you know, some people are scared of ghosts. Some people are scared of, you know, their exes, whatever. This is what I'm scared of, right? These massive topping tails, that's what I am scared of, especially if they break, you know, resistance or support, right? Massive topping tails or bottoming tails are scary. Next trade we took was MRVL, 41.50 by 40.50. Okay, a dollar stop, and we took this off of a 1 minute 3 bar play. Okay, and you honestly, if you had taken this, right, 41 like 75 by 41 like 25, you would have hit 2R, right? Instead, we took this way before this 4 bar play actually formed, okay, which is why we gave this all the way to 40.50, right? You know, you can tell that this trade was not based off of this 4 bar play right here, but based off of the daily breakout, right? So we got in this thing in the first bar of the day, right? Which is why we gave it to the low of the day, right? And unfortunately, this did hit 1R for us and came back down to tag us at break even. But, right, had you had waited and taken the 4 bar play instead of the daily breakout like I did, you would have gotten 2R out of this thing, right? Which just goes to show, right? Everybody has their own trading plan, right? No trade is perfect. If you do join the chat room, right, don't ever take a trade that you don't understand, right? So yeah, let's move on. Next trade we took was Amazon, and we got out at break even on this thing as well. It was 113 by 113.50. You know, we got triggered in off of this red bar down here, and unfortunately, you know, gave us a barcode compression and popped straight up. And we knew this thing wasn't going to work after it didn't break the low of the day, which is why we moved to break even before 1R. Right, we moved to break even before 1R, and this comes down to experience once again, right? And fortunately for us, you know, we moved to break even because Amazon pushed higher this day. Next trade we took was Apple 48 by 48.50, and we got 2R out of this thing. You know, one of the most painless trades of this week. We definitely needed this break. You know, as you can see, Apple just kept pushing lower, right? Very, very painless trade. And, you know, Apple actually went 4R this day, 4R, right? So had you used, you know, not 2R all or nothing trading management plan, and you used like a bouncing stop loss, or you trailed the top of the previous bar, whatever, right? Had you have just trailed the stock out, you would have made 4R, or at least more than 2R, right? Just goes to show you, right? Different management plans have pros and cons, right? Next trade we took was AMD 62.50 by 62, and we got stopped out of this thing. We were trying to take the 1 minute breakout, and you can argue that this was way too aggressive, right? This was probably the one trade that, you know, you could be iffy about whether we should have taken it or not. And, you know, unfortunately we did take this, and we got stopped out of this thing relatively quickly because we got triggered in off of these topping tails right here, came all the way back down, tagged us at 62. Honestly, now that I look at it, you know, this is the trade that I would like back, right? Even if we did get in at 62.50, we should have share side for 61.50. Like, come on, what were you thinking, right? So yeah, not a good trade by me, but you know, you live and you learn. Next trade we took was a Meta 99.90 by 98.50, okay, and we got out of this thing at break even. I wish I blew this 1 minute chart up so that you guys can see it better, but this was a breakout, okay, this was a breakout, and unfortunately it didn't hit 1R but came all the way back down, and I decided I wanted to get out of this thing. You can kind of see the breakout a bit better on the 2 minute actually, so yeah. But yeah, it is what it is. A lot of break evens this week, right? Which is just, you know, part of, you know, statistics, right? Statistically, you're gonna get tagged at break even sometimes, right? Which is why, you know, you got to be able to be consistent with your management plan, right? So yeah. Next trade we took was Intel, and this is the most interesting trade I have for you guys this week. First of all, we took this off of a daily breakout, which I will show you the daily chart in a couple of slides, but we took this off of a huge green bar that was immediately engulfed off of a red bar, right? Which is why we got stopped out of this thing. So, you know, what can we do? The interesting part comes a few minutes later, right? This is the same chart, same day, right? And we decided to take Intel once again, right? 28.50 by 28, the same trade we took previously, right? Look at this, first trade, second trade, right? Same chart, same trade, same stock, and unfortunately triggered us in off of this topping tail and tagged us at, stopped us out immediately afterwards again, right? And at this point you might be asking, you know, average trader, you're so stupid, why would you be taking these trades that obviously aren't working? Look at Intel's daily, right? Intel, you know, Intel gapped above 2 support levels, and it looks like it's about to put in a retracement, right? We expect Intel to go to at least $30 today, right? At least $30 today, which is, you know, a shame because it stopped us out twice. You know, so this is the interesting trade of the week. And that is all for the trades of this week. As you guys can see, we got tagged at break even a lot and we got stopped out a lot. But even through such a terrible week, we only lost 2R, right? Only lost 2R. And once again, if we're not going to complain about gaining 7R in a week, we shouldn't be complaining about losing 2R in a week, right? This is all within, you know, normal, you know, expectations of trading, right? If you do want to see these trades live, once again, visit our website, right? You don't pay a single penny unless we make money every month, right? And if you have any more questions or comments, put them in the comment section below or join our Discord. I'm extremely active there. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you guys next week for the continuation of our trade logging series. Have a nice weekend, guys. Bye-bye.